Whoa! It is not a Monday or a Wednesday. What is going on? Magnus of YouTube airing a video on a Tuesday? Surprise! Gotcha, didn't I? You didn't think a video was coming out today. You're probably right, because it's pretty late that I'm recording this, and depending on where you live, I didn't make it. Today, we're going to talk about Fusion Force. We got some deets leaked. VegetasPrime on Instagram leaked the juicy deets of the starter deck that had Haos and Ventus in it, Pyrus Maxodon, and Ventus Nilius Core. Maxodon might as well have not been in the set, because this is a Ventus and Haos's playground. That's the main highlight of this set. There's like one Pyrus card, and that's it. And I gotta admit, it has probably one of the funnier names of anything that we've had so far. Baku Booted! Baku Booted! Baku Boot! Baku Boot! I don't know, it's fun to say though. Baku Boot. Now let's look at the character cards, huh? Maxodon is 200 plus 300 and double strike with a resounding 2 damage. Wow, look at that. That's immediately replaced by any other better Pyrus Bakugan like Ramparion or Batrix. If you really want helixes that bad. If you really want helixes. It does come with double cores. So, I mean, I could see it being tempting to use because it does have that magical double strike right there. But it also is for the helix archetype. So its damage is going to be 0 if you're trying to land it on a plus 600 minus 3 helix, which is primarily the only helix that helix players use. Ventus Nilius Core, we already know that he's not too special or really worth mentioning. He's 405 with a green fist and a shield. So unless he gets a really good true effect, or an epic effect or whatever, or he gets a kick butt Evo in Fusion Force, we can't tell for sure, but there's nothing truly appealing about his character card at the moment. And then Hydorus Ultra, we got same thing as Nilius, we got shield and fist, and it comes with 506 with shield and fist. Not too great, not too crazy, but the Bakugan are not going to be why you buy this starter deck, but we're going to go over the cards in just the order that I received them. So no special order. I'm not going to do, I'm going to save the best for last. But if I do come across a card that I think is worth its merit, I will talk about it a little more than others. It'll be very plain to see which cards I think are worth anything. So we're going to start with Ventus Shred. Ventus Shred or Ventus Shred? It's the same thing. There's an S in the word shred. Ventus Shred. Ventus Shred is a 2-cost Ventus card, and it says to destroy a Baku Gear. So finally, after Armored Elite has played around a little bit, ensuing chaos with the Glimmering Glaives and the fire launchers of the world, we now have... Well, we saw earlier that there was... I don't think it was in Armored Elite. I think it was in Fusion Force as well in the Kodak leaks. We saw that there was a Ventus. It looks like Ventus is going to get the the Gear Destruction cards. You know how Haos has Evo Destruction, Darkus has Hero Destruction. It looks like Ventus is going to be receiving the Gear Destruction. So Ventus Shred is in line with the previous card. I forget the name of it. I'm going to put it right here. If I find it, I will. It's a 2-cost destroy. We've been waiting for it. We were wondering who was going to get it because gears have been left unchecked. There's been no way to abolish gears except for a few of the other cards coming in Fusion Force. Armored Elite just introduced them, and now Fusion Force is going to bring them down and have fusions. Fusions! Haha! Rise! Into the forefront. Then we have the pretty much the only, I think it's the only Pyrus card in this deck. It's the only Pyrus card in this deck. Is Baku Cavalry. Is the +5 damage for 3 cost. That's below curve. And if this is a team attack, plus 10 damage instead. That's not worth running at all. You're paying 3 for 10 damage only like one time in a specific situation. You're not always going to be in a team attack situation. Now we have Meteor Sting. It's a 1 cost, minus 2 damage, trifecta. If your Bakugan have 3 or more Baku cores attached to them, minus 7 instead. So it's a 1 cost, minus 2 for the majority of the game. Pretty similar to Baku Booted. You have to be at that team attack stage where it starts getting an added effect. Baku Briar. 2 cost, minus 200B, and minus 3 damage. So this is the classic case of it does 2 things, so it does them worse than other things. Ventu Piercer, we have 3 cost plus 6 damage. Baku Boosted is better. If you want 3 costs, just land 3 times. There you go. Baku Boosted is better than Ventu Piercer. We're not going to go on about that. Fusion Ventus Defense is 0 cost. So this, I think we saw these before from the Kodak video, are 0 cost, 2 faction stops. So this is the Haos Ventus stop. If it's either of those 2, stop it, which could be good, could be bad, but like honestly, it's just a flip that like there's the better options out there right now. It's mainly going to be a check for if Ventus or Haos gets really good, but like still, again, there's more generic flips. We don't have side decks right now, but so there's more generic flips that you can put in your deck instead. So Kubo Clones, it's the 1 cost Haos reroll that gives you plus 2 damage, which is curve, and you may reroll a Bakugan. So it's the 1 cost reroll. Finally, Haos Blessing can go die. 2 costs for plus 4 and reroll. You're gone. We just subtracted that in half and poof, sent it on our way. Now, Haos Fury can be a thing. We will rise. We will finally be able to use Pyro Obliterator in Fury. Yes. Green shields. So you've heard of magic shields. You've heard of shields. Now we have green shields. Oh yeah. When you play this, you may play a Baku Gear for free. Ooh. That's actually not bad. It's a 5 cost, but we all know that turns into a 3 cost. You can play this on the one you got the gear reduction for, because you can only play gears with the reduction on the Bakugan that landed on that gear reduction course. So you can't land on a minus 2 and then equip a gear for that reduced price on one of your other Bakugan. So this might be a way to get past that. You get plus 200 plus 2 for 3, which, you know, is... But for Baku Gear, it's permanent, so it, you know, you add some, you weigh some of that out, just taking that into consideration, and then you can play a Baku Gear for free. This might see its uses. I have a feeling. I have a strange feeling. This might see its uses in very niche decks. I feel like there will be better options, but I think that's worth considering for sure. Here's the one that has inspired some controversy: Baku Cavalry. It is an Empower card, so we're getting the archetypes from last pack, Armored Elite, and we're re-upping them. We're following through, as we saw with the Rapid Fire, Flash Fire for the Rapid Fire, which was the core remover. But this one has some controversy, because it's a 0 cost. Hooray! 0 costs are good. 0 costs, if they have a good enough effect, like they just need to do anything. They just need to do anything. And that is slightly worth considering, and they're a staple. Like, 0 costs are just, for the fact that they're 0, can be amazing. And this one would be. This one is. In both aspects of it, it's good. It's a good card for Empowered. Let's just get into it. It is a plus 100 damage for 0. Yay! Whoa! What? So, and then if you pay 3, you get 500 damage. Yee! Yes! Haos Fury! We were just talking about that. Who knew it would have relevance twice in one video? Oh! I'm tense. I'm actually tense. Sorry to disappoint you, kids, but it's a misprint. It's a misprint. Obviously, it should say 100B for 0 damage. Remind yourself that that's what this is. It's 0 damage for 100B. So that makes sense. That makes sense. It's a misprint for 100B, and then you get plus 500 when you pay 3, but with Leah and Dan on board, or if you use that 1 cost for Empower, it's free. You get to Empower for free, so it's a plus 500 turn 1, or any moment. It's a nature's power that can't be stopped by Shadow Strike. It's a good card, regardless if it's not plus 500 damage. Don't worry guys, it's a misprint. It's not plus 500 damage. I promise. Oh no.
It is I, Ventus Knight, here to tell you that yes, that card is in fact printed correctly. Haha, it's not B power, it's supposed to be damage. Now you will all know the true nature of my master plan. You think I wanted to be called Ventus Knight? Ha, don't make me laugh. I really like Haos. I wanted to be Haos Man, but that was already taken. So I had to use Ventus Knight. And now, you will all know the true power of Haos. Use it or lose it. I am Haos Man. Yeah.
So we got a janky VK ruling. This is a real card. This is a real card. 100 damage for 0 cost is... that sounds right to me. That sounds good. I see in no way how that could be absolutely game-breaking. Power creep is not a thing, I promise you. This is not power creeping. This is power running. This is power sprinting. It's not creeping up slowly. It's bashing through your door and kicking your teeth down your throat until you play Haos. How many teeth are you gonna find in your stool before you realize that playing Haos might seem like a good idea? First it was Glimmering Glaive. We thought it was a good idea. Natural progression of the game. Power creep, yes. But was not outside of the box when it came to Haos. But 100 damage for 0. Ha! Speaking of 100 damage for 0 cost, it's very, very interesting that they're pushing flips in this set as well. Let's talk about couples rules, because in this game, that seems to be what we're playing with. Just weird rules created by a fictional bear who is canonically a hole. What is happening? Why is there a 0 cost 100 damage? What? What is happening? Couples rules is a 0 cost flip. Let's continue with the 0 cost. Let's continue with paying nothing. It's a flip, so take this with a grain of salt. Flip effects are always taken with a grain of salt. But hey, if you pay 0 cost after you taking damage and you flip this bad boy over into your discard pile, guess what? You get to look at the top 4 cards of your deck and rearrange them in any order you want. Whoa! Now you can rearrange the flips, so you put the flips on top, stop your attack, draw what you want. You can do a bunch of stuff. And that comes in handy when including the other flip card that came in the Fusion Force. I'll put it right here. I forgot the name, but I'm going to say Bark and Bite or something like that. More like Fight or Flight, because that's what I'm feeling right now. Not because of the flip. Sorry, I'm still stuck on it. But is this how you push the flip agenda? Is this my punishment? Is this my punishment for wearing this shirt and saying flips are not that good? Play a maximum of 6 flips. Is this my punishment? Are we encroaching on a flip meta? Am I supposed to run flips? Baku Bite, Fight or Flight, whatever. lets you play the next flip for free. So, with Cubbo's rules and Baku Bite, we're establishing a flip deck. Flips are becoming the future. Don't worry about them being dead draws. Just worry about racking up that damage and getting off some gimmicky flip effects. Don't worry about actually trying hard at the game. Just miss. Just miss for all anyone cares. This is supposed to be about the reveals. I'm not actually upset. I'm meaning it's hot in my room. It's hot in here. We're having a good time. We're having a good time. We're just goofing. We're having a great time. Let's run through the rest of these. This one I actually really like. Memes aside, Chaotic Booster. Now this is actually a good Baku Gear. As I said, Haos and Ventus are just having a good time with this starter deck. So it's a Baku Gear that lets you attach it as a second Baku Gear, which is something we're noticing is happening a lot in the Fusion Force set. This is going to be one of the gimmicks, is there's a lot of Baku Gears that allow you to double up, double strap. And this is no exception. But it's a 5 cost, but technically that means 3. If you ever read the actual number, it's 2 less. Always remember that. When you play this, destroy an enemy Baku Gear. Plus 300, plus 3. That's good. Ventus, continuing its reputation for the Baku Gear destruction, excellent. But it's plus 300, plus 3, destroy an opponent's Baku Gear, debilitating them, letting you rise further. It's a good gear. Keep your eyes on it. Very good, very good. Haotis? That word sucks. I hate that word. Haotis? What is... Haotis? Haotis? Energizer. So whatever Haotis is, so we're energizing it with this card, so you better hope it means it's a good thing. It's a 4 cost, 2 cost, essentially. I'm going to do that every time. It can be attached as a second Baku Gear, but it gives you plus 100, plus 5. It's one of those throwaway Baku Gears. It's just to fill up the card set. It's not great. Then we got Ventus Stability. If you flip 3 or more cards in this attack, stop any non-Ventus and choose a card that was flipped this turn and put it into your hand. It has its possible uses. It's the part where you have to flip 3 before flipping this card can be inconvenient. It can definitely be inconvenient, but stopping any non-Ventus, which, unless everyone's taking this Ventus stuff seriously, I think pretty soon we're going to see a Ventus Bakugan on a lot of teams, especially with support coming like this. Haos and Ventus might be seen a lot more often, so it's not going to be certain how great this flip is going to maintain, since Ventus Bakugan are going to be seen around more, okay? So, stop a non-Ventus, and then you just get one of the things that you flipped, which you know you're going to get something because you flipped 3 before this card could activate. It is a 3 cost. So it's an outsider flip, kind of, but with an added effect, and you have to meet a certain criteria. Take that with a grain of salt. That's what that is. Ventus Destruction. Thank God. Another good card. It's a 6 cost that negs your opponent 900. Now, why would I say that's a good card? Obviously, it's going to cost less than I said so. It costs 3 less to play if you have a Baku Gear in play. As long as you have any Baku Gear in play, which they're going to become a lot more rampant, especially with the Baku Gear coming in this set. But pretty much if you don't play with Baku Gear right now, you're a little bit silly. They're very good. So once we get our elite, we're going to see them everywhere. Yay! So you're going to get this effect off more often than not. So it is a 3 cost for minus 900. That's really good. That's Wave Slash levels. And it's better than Wave Slash, obviously besides Shadow Strike, but no one's running Shadow Strike right now, so that's kind of a non-factor. Not in a convenient way. You have to kind of go out of your way for Shadow Strike, so that's kind of not important to this discussion. But it's a Wave Slash that your opponent cannot Blinding Ink. And it enables Tuskguard, another very good Ventus card. So the Ventus strategy just keeps getting better. This is Ventus players are rising up in this set. Like, Ventus players screw what I said. You're going to see Ventus players a lot more often. They're getting really good support here. Now we're going to talk about Fusion Shield. It's a 3 cost. Oh, it's the trifecta. So it's stop non-Haos, stop non-Ventus, which already poo-poo because you're going to see those everywhere. Trifecta. If you have 3 or more Baku cores attached to them, you can play this for free. So just play Stand Together at that point. That's very hard to get off. Like, you're more than likely not going to have that off. Like, you're just going to be you're just going to be using 3 energy for the most part. Sorry. Hate to tell you, but not really that good. Strategic Smash. Oh, look at that artwork. 2 cost, plus 400. If your opponent plays a flip card this turn, return this card to your hand. Not crazy. Not crazy. Baku Gear Warrior. That's him. That's the Baku Gear Warrior. All this time, we were looking for him. There he is. Lo and behold, there he is. It's a 3 cost for plus 7 damage, and draw 2 for each Baku Gear attached to that Bakugan. So we now know that the limit is 2. For any Bakugan to have. So it requires a little setup, but plus 7 damage to possibly draw 4. There's potential in it, but I feel like it's going to be like kind of a Nova Burst type where it's a deck centered around it instead of like it being a good staple to just put in your deck. It has potential, but it will mainly be just used for the draw power. You can use it on your opponent's Bakugan. You can exchange them getting plus 7 more damage to draw 4 more cards. Like, plus a 3 cost for draw 2. That's, like, if we find out that the second Baku Gear gimmick is actually really, you know, prevalent, that's when we'll start seeing that this is actually a good card. Keep your eyes on it. I actually think this has potential. Ventus Footfall. Ventus Footfall. It's a 4 cost, steal an opponent's core from them. From an open Bakugan. So one they won already or one that they're in a battle with you. And that's VK. That is VK.